Okay, so today is the 26th of July 2026, and if you want to come and find me, were this not in the future, this is where I am. Puppy, mould, juggles. I'll talk about these three words in a minute. I hope that was in focus, by the way. Okay, so what's going on here? Right, so my name is Bill. Welcome to the show, the programme, the episode, whatever you want to call it. And I am in Stokes Bay, in Gosport, Hampshire, south of England. Just over to my right is the Isle of Wight. I'll probably show you a picture of that in a minute. But the main reason I'm here is because of the beach. But that's not how I got here. I got here because I'm a member of U3A, University of the Third Age. And the U3A has two parts to it. The first part is the one where local meetings, everybody comes in from town, we get together physically and face to face. The other part is entirely online, which means that people can be almost literally anywhere in the world. And it was through an online group, an interest group online, part of U3A, called Geology, not Archaeology, as I've got written on the card in front of me. And a person on the first episode of the Geology group that I attended, they did an hour-long presentation, and I thought to myself, I'd quite like to do something like that. I can't do an hour-long presentation. I'm not expecting to do an hour-long presentation, but I could do a 5 or 10 minute presentation, probably without too much problem. So here I am, down on the beach. I don't like beaches normally, but because there's a scientific aspect to it, that's kind of driven me to it, really. And what I'm doing is an exercise in what's called geomorphology. Now, there is a technical explanation to what geomorphology is, and that is along the lines of, and I'm not going to give you the technical definition because I can't remember it and I haven't got it written down, that it's how the landscape formed and how the landscape changes over time. And I wanted to do a talk on that particular area because it appeals to me, because it's change. And not only that, but because it's where I am, the changes happen, in geological terms anyway, frequently. We're talking over weeks and months, and occasionally hours and days. So what am I going to be looking at? And why am I doing it? Well, it's curiosity, that's all that's driving me. And the question is, can I watch a beach changing? So let's go and have a look, shall we? Okay, so let's have another go, because I just tried to shoot it and it didn't look as though it was filming, but that's okay. So I'm no longer at far end of the Stokes Bay. I'm probably about a third of the way along, actually, and this is an interesting point. Now, I'm just looking back because the area that I've just walked along, the tide was coming in, and what I did was I did pause to take some pictures, but I didn't stop to do any videoing because I was concerned about the fact that the tide is coming in, and the tide has now come in, and where I was is now underwater. So it just goes to show, doesn't it, that need to be cautious. Right, okay, so if you remember, I was at the first location here, which is Puppy Mould Juggles, and I've moved along the beach, and I am now at a place called Email Struck Held. Email Struck Held. Okay. Now, how am I doing that? Well, I'm using a system called What's Three Words. Let me take my strap there. Sorry about adjusting the camera. Right. What's three words? Now, the whole world has been divided up into 3 metre square segments, and each segment has been given a name. And if you know the name, you can put it into your map, the What Three Words application, and you can go to it. To me, it's a really, really good system. It's really easy to use. All you need to do is know where to know the name of the location. The only problem with the application is there's a free version and there's a paid version, of course. And with the paid version, you can use as many locations as you want, but with the free version, you can only use 10. And that's why I've gone for 9 locations on the system that I'm planning to do. Now, I've also got one of these, which is a surveyor's pole. Okay, only cost me about, I think about £15, so not too bad at all. Obviously, I have cameras, so I have my Instago 360, Insta360 Go 3S, and of course I'm using the iPhone, which has an absolutely excellent camera, and obviously using the same point. And of course my my whiteboard here. Okay, so I've now got everything in place that I need to be able to conduct surveys, come back to the same place each time, and know that I'm going to get the same view. Now, so one problem I did find was I did stop at the groins to take some pictures, and I wanted to be able to clamp the whiteboard to the surveyor's pole at the height of the thing, you know, so that just gives me a little bit of perspective, a 3D perspective on a 2-dimensional picture. Excuse me, just getting comfortable. And I've got a clamp for my notes, and I've realised that I now need a clamp for the board as well. So yeah, it's, you find these things out when you're starting these projects, don't you? Okay, so back to the original project. When am I going to come back? Well, the plan is to come back probably 3 or 4 times a year. If I can, after a storm, because a storm will have had a significant impact on the beach. And I can give you an example of that in a little while. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time to get down there, but I will tell you about it. Having said that, I might as well tell you about it now. So I'm just going to spin the camera slightly, okay, and down there in the distance you should be able to see a white building. That's the Gosport Sailing Club, or the Stokes Bay Sailing Club as it may be, and actually that building in its own right is historically interesting. That was one of the control centres during the build-up to D-Day, where all of the boats in the harbour were controlled from. So quite a bit of history to that building. Anyway, back to the project. Yes. So down the front of that building, there's because it's a sailing club, they want to be able to get the boats into the water quickly and easily. So they built a ramp. Ramp goes from the top down to the bottom. They can wheel the boats down, except they can't wheel the boats down. And they can't wheel the boats down because the shingle keeps on getting blown onto the ramp. Now, they went through a period of several months where each time they would clear the shingle away from the ramp, and then there'd be a storm, or just in a matter of a couple of weeks, the shingle would be back over the ramp. So actually, they've completely given up on it. Now, I don't think I'm going to have time to walk down. I should perhaps just jump in here and explain that the reason why I was running out of time was purely and simply because the car was parked in a paid parking area, and I had about 20 minutes left on the ticket, and where I was probably going to take me about 10 or 15 minutes to get back to the car. So I really was starting to get close to the edge, unfortunately, but we will come back for another visit. So the whole purpose of this is for me to just conduct a survey of the beach, look at what's happening to the shingle. Now this is where we come across the shingle. Now the beach is made up of stones. Basically, there is a bit of a sandy part, but not very much. And the earliest, I found a map, 1833, that had actually annotated this beach as a shingle beach. And now I don't think that they were doing beach management anything like we're doing today. And so this is what makes me think that this is actually a naturally shingle beach as opposed to a man-made shingle beach. And therefore it's what's called a managed shingle beach, which means that at the far end where I was originally, there was a flat zone, and the flat zone, they will come onto it, they will dump a pile of shingle, and then they will distribute it along the beach, hopefully presumably to get washed along with this thing called longshore drift, which we've seen an example of with the groins, because I'll try and put a photo into the video demonstrating it, but I'll explain more fully in a future video. Yeah, I don't know how these videos are going to come out today. It's quite blustery, but I think the sound quality is okay. So there is a question to be asked, and that is, so what? And in some respects, it's a difficult question to answer. The answer I would give is that the interesting thing about a shingle beach is that it looks permanent, but I suspect it isn't. And over the coming months and years, let's see whether Stokes Bay can tell us its story. Now, there's still the so what, and the only answer I can give you is I'm curious about it. I'm curious about it. So let's just do some exploration, shall we? In the next video, we'll try and start the survey proper. But I think that's probably enough for today. So thank you very much indeed for watching. Very much appreciated, and I'll see you next time. Cheers then. See, I do that. I say cheers, cheerio, and then I should just sit here for 30 seconds or 10 seconds so that it doesn't look as though I'm reaching for the camera to turn it off. I must get into that habit.